Hey, my friends. Welcome to the wilds of British Columbia, or as I refer to it, my mom's house. Um, I've been on the road a lot recently, so I've had a lot of chances to listen to conversations, hear other people talking. I've done other videos from airports and stuff like that, and God knows I'm going to be traveling again shortly on my way home. Um, Earlier today, though, as I slowly get back into the routine, earlier today I was talking to a friend on LinkedIn, my friend Ken Li, who happens to be a magnificent career coach as well. And he had posted something about career advice for new graduates. And he listed a lot of interesting things that he had learned over the years. And the one thing I added, from my perspective, was I wish I had been told early in my career that investments I was making in my development were investments in me, not investments in my career development. The idea to keep the focus on me, to keep the focus on what I needed to do, because I did not know at the time I would have so many careers over my life. And so by keeping it on me, um, I developed as a person. I developed as a collaborator, as a coworker, as a human being, and that has held me in good stead in every career I've ever had. Which caused me to also think, as much as I talk about passions and following your creative spirit and doing the thing you do because you enjoy doing it, remember that even in doing that, even in following your creative passion, what is your creative passion today may not be your creative passion tomorrow, a year from now, 10 years from now. I've been really fortunate that I've known from the earliest times, earliest days of my life, that I'm a storyteller, right? But it took me a long time to figure out that I was a storyteller in the sense of articulating that. Because what I thought I was doing was I was a writer. And then I realized I could tell stories through other media as well. But it's still storytelling from my perspective. That's the way I've decided to define it. But it has morphed in a variety of ways over the years. And what I've found is I can sort of almost backfill things I've done in the past that don't fit traditional storytelling, and describe it as storytelling. But there are also going to be people out there who don't have that singularity of focus, who find themselves enthralled by one particular form of self-expression for a while and then phase out of it and move into another form of self-expression. I've got another friend, the dad of a close friend of mine, who I jokingly describe as a serial hobbyist, and he kind of acknowledged that when I talked to him for the book I'm developing. Um, he intensely dives into one thing for a while. He'll do that for a year, for a couple of years, and then, as he self describes, he eventually gets bored of it is maybe the wrong word, but he reaches a point in his development of that form of self-expression and decides to sort of I don't want to do this now. What else is there? And he goes and he finds something else that jazzes him, that excites him, that he can be passionate about. And he goes and does that for a while and becomes damn good at it. Selling his wares and expressing himself, finding new ways of putting himself out there, challenging his artistic self, his creative self, and really developing the craftsmanship for whatever that thing is. And again, when he reaches a certain point, he goes, okay, I've gotten as far as I want to go on this. And he goes and finds something else. And he's done this year after year, decade after decade. He is known as the guy who um, is always coming into his community with something new to share, something new to explore. And he's a little bit older than me, and it keeps him alive. It keeps him going. You can tell he's passionate about his thing. He has fond memories of his previous things, but he really, 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 really likes the next thing. So again, you may not have the single passion forever. It may only be a temporary thing, a thing that sticks with you for a while, gives you great joy, gives you great satisfaction, challenges you to push yourself and to find other levels of yourself and your creative spark. And then you may move on to something else. Your spark may go fallow, may dim for that particular thing, only to brighten for something else that comes along. Does that mean you wasted all that energy, that momentum, that time on that previous thing that no longer goes anywhere or is no longer something you explore? No. No, because it served its purpose during that period. And I very much am a believer that creativity begets creativity, that the spark that you feel when you're in the groove, when you're doing the thing that brings you great joy, echoes through everything else. It becomes who you are, right? And so it could be that like me, you may not be the storyteller, but you may be the passionate one. The one who, when you do find things to embrace, you embrace them deeply. You experiment with them. You try new things. You go far and wide in what you're willing to put your energies into, and you keep what you keep. And you let go of what just doesn't hold your interest. And that's brilliant. That's wonderful because you're constantly evolving, right? Whether you give yourself one title, as I have for me, or whether you're a serial hobbyist, as I call my friend's dad, um, it doesn't matter. It's that you're passionate. It's that you're energized. It's that you're putting that energy out into the universe. Um, it's that you're bringing the people around you these wondrous, wondrous gifts because you've received wondrous gifts to give you this passion. You may go through a longer fallow period, but that's fine too. You had a passion before, it brought you great joy. You'll have a passion again. It'll bring you great joy. It may just take a while of experimentation. Um, so what? Even exploring your passion takes a period of experimentation. If it doesn't, I don't know how it remains a passion. Um, so I'm a storyteller, whether that's with my camera, with my pen, with my fingers on a keyboard, giving oral monologues, as I will be shortly in my new storytelling class that starts up on Monday. Um, be who you are, thrive in who you are. Um, you will bring others so much joy, so much energy, and hopefully it becomes something that they too can emulate. Um, you know, and find the people who do these things so that you can feed off of their energy, not in a parasitic way, but in a synergistic way. Um, brighten your communities. And in the process, we're going to build an amazing universe. I promise you that. In any event, this is just something I wanted to get off my chest at this point. Know that you're going to evolve. Know that you don't have to stay in something forever and ever, and that a decision to switch doesn't mean you wasted your time, you wasted your energy. It's just a change. And we're all changing all the time. I wish you well. I wish me safe travels because, who doesn't? I hope you have a fantastic creative week. I hope you find the thing that brings you alive. It's there. You just got to find it. And if you've got it, ride that wave. Take care, my friends. Be well. I'll probably put some links to stuff that are going on in the description of this video. Ciao.